So dear students, this is Sanjay Joseph with the second video of the chapter heat. Today we are going to study about how heat gets transferred from a place where heat is getting produced to the place where you need heat. What do I mean with that? Suppose you have lighted up an oven and you have kept a vessel on that. You are boiling water. So how heat is getting transferred through the metal till the water, and so on. There are three important ways or modes through which heat gets transferred from a source of heat to the places where it can go. The first one is the method of conduction. Second one is method of convection, and third one is the method of radiation. Heat gets transferred from a hotter body to a cooler body by the help of any of these three modes. So one by one we are going to discuss these modes. So conduction. What does conduction mean? Try to understand that. Say for example, if you have conduction takes place in case of solids. Suppose you have got, say for example, a rod and you have kept it, suppose you have got a spoon, say for example a steel spoon, and you have got a candle. You do this and you will see that if on the flame you have kept the rod, then what happens? Very quickly the rod starts getting heated up, and actually what has happened, the heat energy vibrates the solid molecules, and this vibration only is passed in form of energy from one end of the rod to the other end of the rod. That means none of the particles actually entirely shift, but the vibration is passed on as heat energy, and till the end the solid gets heated. Actually some of the solids like iron, steel, etc., they are very good conductor of heat. That means heat will travel very fast through them. And therefore you will see when you have got things which you use in the kitchen, they all have got insulations of bad conductor of heat. What do you mean by that? Steel is a good conductor of heat, and if you are putting steel on the flame, then the steel rod starts, the molecules near the flame, they first vibrate, and this vibration is very quickly transferred to the neighboring particles and so on. And then what happens? Till the end the rod gets heated up, and suppose you are holding the rod, you will feel the heat. And therefore what they do in the frying pans, etc., in the pressure cookers, the handle through which you hold the heating of the pans, etc., those are insulator. That means in those things heat does not travel very fast. So this is what is. So conduction is what? Conduction is a process of transfer of heat from a hotter zone to a cooler zone, from a hotter zone to a cooler zone through solids. Might be, you can think of metal when you are talking about it. So once more, conduction is a process of transfer of heat from a hotter zone to a cooler zone in solids. Did you understand that? And then what happens? Here the heat energy gets transferred, not the particle. Of the vibrations of the particle will increase, but the particles do not shift their places. That means the solid molecules from which are nearer to the heat source, they do not start going to the other end, but they vibrate and transfer the energy. And that is how solids get heated. The next mode of transfer of heat is convection. Convection happens in air or in liquids. That means in gases and liquids. Air, I mean to say gases. Convection, actually you can say you can put it in better words, convection takes place when fluids are heated, either the gases or liquids. What happens in this case in convection? In convection, you know what happens? The material which is closer to the heat source, it gets heated and then it moves ahead, taking the heat energy with itself. And then to take its place, the cooler material comes near the heat source. I mean to say, if you have a pan, say for example, if you have a pan in which you have got water, all right, and you are heating this, and water is here, then what will happen? The hot water will rise up and the cold water will come near the heat source. Now once it is heated, it will again rise up, and so on, and then slowly or gradually the entire water will heat up. And that is why, suppose you have put water, say for example on a stove, you will be able to see that little movement is taking place. What is happening? Hot water is rising up from the heat source and it is going on the top, and the cooler water is coming down. And that is how convection currents are produced in sea. When sun from the top heats up water for a quite long time, then what will happen? These movements it starts taking place, and even due to some reasons, the water inside the sea, if it is getting heated, then the hot water will come up and the cold water will go down, and convection currents it starts being produced in oceans. Even in air, what is happening when you see wind blowing? Why the movement of air takes place? It is because some place, suppose air, due to some reason, either industrial heat or solar heat or warmth of the ground, suppose the air gets heated up, then the hot air will rise up and the cool air will come down from somewhere, or from a zone where the things are hot air will rise up, creating low pressure of air. Then wherever there is denser air which is cool will come to the place from where the hot air has risen up. That means due to heat in air, low pressure and high pressure is created, and due to this difference of pressure, what happens? Air or fluid mass, it starts moving from the place where it is heated, or the whole air which is heated, it will rise up and the cold air will come to take its place. And that is why try to understand the sea breeze. Sea breeze actually is what? Sea breeze is movement of air from sea towards land during the daytime. Once again I am telling you, from sea to land during the daytime. Now what is the mechanics behind it? What happens is, as you see in the figure, and also I will draw a little bit, through that animation also you can learn, and through this figure also you can learn. One thing you be very sure, water is a bad conductor, a poor conductor of heat. So when sun rays fall on ocean water and on land, then since water is a poor conductor of heat, it gets heated very slow, but the land gets heated very fast. Then when the land gets heated very fast in the daytime, what will happen? Hot air will rise up in the daytime, hot air which is above the land. So there is low pressure created here. So the cold air from the sea will come towards the land. But the name is sea breeze because the breeze from sea towards land. That is what you have to understand. Did you all understand? And you always remember, air and water are poor conductor of heat. Remember that. And that is why what happens is that on summer days during the sunshine, the land gets heated fast, but the ocean surface gets heated slow, and therefore the air above the ocean is cooler, the air above the land is hotter. So hot air will rise up due to convection, as I said, and to take its place, the cooler air will come towards the land, creating the sea breeze. At night it is just the opposite. What is happening? As I said, now whole day these two have been heated. Now at the end of the day, air has been heated water has been heated sufficiently warm, and land also has been heated. Now what happens? Since land is a poor conductor of heat, it will cool down faster at night. It will cool down faster at night, whereas the ocean water, since it is now warm, at the end of the day it will cool very, very slow. So that means now it is the opposite thing happening. Since it is hot now, so at night the air above the sea now is getting hotter, but land at night has cooled down very fast, so air above the land is now cooler. So at night what happens? Due to convection, now air above the ocean is rising. So now what will happen? Cold air from the land will move towards, so this is the daytime, and as you see, and this is the night time. So at night time, land breeze flows from land to the sea. Did you all understand? So these are the things, very, very important things which you have to understand, children. Now, what is the third thing? Third thing is radiation. Radiation actually happens, radiation comes out from every hot body. All right, electromagnetic waves come out. All right, like from sun, the electromagnetic waves are coming. So these electromagnetic waves directly come till the earth without heating the space in between. So radiation is transfer of heat from the heat source directly to the receiver, and it can happen, radiation can take place from any hot body to a cooler body. That means the hot body will generate lot of heat and will straight away heat up the substance which is receiving without heating the medium in between. So that is what is radiation. As you see, radiation normally happens, takes place better when, like, sunlight from the sun, the infrared radiation or the ultraviolet radiations are coming. These all especially infrared will cause heating, and without the heating in between, anything in between, it will come directly to earth, and that is known as radiation. So children, you have understood. So but there are few things which we have to understand which, while we are discussing. Number one, as we have seen, land breeze and sea breeze. Second, I said air is a poorer conductor of heat. Now what happens in winter days? What is happening? Suppose you've got a very thick blanket of 4 centimeter thickness, and you've got 2 blankets of 2 centimeter thickness. Which one you will use if there is extreme cold? Many will tell that it is the thick blanket of 4 centimeter we will use of same material. The other person will say, no, we will use the 2 centimeter combined 2 centimeter thick blankets. You should use the the thinner blankets. If you combine together, it has air column in between. So it further makes it a very, very poor conductor of heat. Therefore, what happens when in winter, when you are having 2 blankets on your top, and in between them is the air column. That means 2 blankets are there on you, and in between them there is air column also. So when you are sleeping here, then what is happening? Your body warmth is radiating out heat. But since this blanket is poor conductor, then air is still poor conductor, and then another poor conductor, so you feel very warm. All right, that means these blankets are not allowing your body warmth to escape out, and you are feeling warm. Therefore, always remember air is a poorer conductor of heat, and you can use this, especially quilts and all. You see, they look very light because cotton is put in. Why we put cotton? Cotton will contain a lot of air pockets in it, and it makes the quilt very, very warm. All right, did you understand? Then secondly, in winter we can wear darker clothes, because dark bodies are good absorbers of heat, and they reflect little heat. And in summers we should wear lighter clothes, because lighter clothes do not absorb heat, but actually they are a good reflector. So what will happen? Already your body is generating heat. All right, and secondly, the warmth of the summer. So what is happening when the radiation is coming to us, or when any form of heat source is touching us, then the lighter clothes will reflect back that heat, letting you be little more comfortable than if you are wearing very, very dark clothes. Also woolen clothes. What is wool? Wool itself is a poorer conductor of heat, and also it will contain small, very microscopic air pockets. And then you see, wool is fluffy. It contains a lot of air pores and air inside it, and making this conductor, making it poorer conductor of heat. And therefore, when you wear woolen clothes, actually what happens? Your body is actually radiating heat, but the woolen clothes do not allow the heat to radiate out and escape out, and you feel warm. So this is how we have studied about conduction, convection, and radiation. Thanks a lot.